Hello, everyone. Welcome to this 70-star playoff race between Pete and m0m0. D2 70-star playoff race. This will be a best 2 out of 3 immediate knockout match between these two guys. My name is Scotch and Ty Guy. You can call me Scotch for short. I will be commentating with you today. Very excited to see what we have in store between these two guys in these quarterfinals, and we will get started with race number 1.
Me, Mario. Hello. Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you.
See a little bit of a cartridge difference. m0m0 playing on Japanese cart, so we'll see him get out of this intro a little bit quicker than Pete, who is playing on the English version, English cartridge. The English version overall in the 70-star is about a second quicker than the Japanese cart, simply because of the different dialogue boxes that are shown. So while we see m0m0 getting out of this intro quicker, Pete won't have too much of a difference in comparison, as we see both these guys getting these Lakitu skips. Looking forward to seeing that m0m0 Starget in chat as we make our way into BOB. m0m0 missing the star grab, having to back it up right out the gate. Pete having no trouble with that first star, taking the lead. Let's get those guesses in chat for the slide here. My guess is going to be 2 12-8. 12-8 from both gentlemen. And walking into the commentary booth, we've got Electric, the man himself.
How you doing, Scotch? Yeah, looks like we've got ourselves a nice, pretty tight race here between Pete and m0m0. Had to get myself nice and freshened up. Didn't want to track any dirt into the commentary booth here. You know, we like to keep a very clean operation here at GSA.
Putting down the plastic, making sure, you know, we've got not a whole lot of germs and dirt in here. And as we make our way into Womp's 212-9s.
You know, hopefully they'll be able to keep this close coming out of Womps, but with all the difficult tricks coming up here, we could certainly see a even stronger lead develop on either side, as Pete going in for Owlus.
Well, this is 70-star. This is the longer grind of the GSA races that we've got. And this was best 2 out of 3, so this will be all about endurance. Both guys getting their Owlus pretty easily.
Yep, very nice and handy. Once you have the grinds down on that trick, certainly gets a lot more consistent than right at the beginning. It's just one that you have to spend some time with the game and understand exactly how Mario is going to move in the jumps in order to get it done right.
Here we go.
Something we've seen a lot lately in Super Mario 64 races is the sock folder setup. No one really going for that texture setup, opting for the more consistent way to get this star.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that time early on, especially in a playoff race like this.
Yeah, I think that's a safe move.
Certainly agreed, as Pete going in on that 100 coin here, going for a nice little, looked like a half cycle based on his coin count. Oh, a full cycle, never mind. Very nice movement there.
Oh, Pete's working on his 100 coins. Momo. Pete!
Oh,
taking
yeah,
a fall.
big fall. Pete did go ahead and collect the blue and the red, though, so once he gets back up, he's... Oh, not quite getting through those blocks there. You have to get all the way on top in order to actually, like, have the game register that you're on top of the blocks like that. Okay, so taking a pretty big hit there as m0m0 going to be starting his own 100 coin. Let's see if he has some better luck on that back half.
m0m0 having a little difficulty with that star just before his 100. Interesting cycle there, not getting the full cycle that you were looking for.
Yeah. Half cycle, though, still making some pretty decent time throughout this 100 coin. Going to be saving some significant time over Pete throughout this segment. But missing a coin or two on that ring right there. His coin count still looks good, though. We'll be able to finish out without having to collect the box or anything drastic like that.
Couple interesting mistakes on both sides of the screen here.
Yeah, and it's really that movement around that tiny platform after the piranha plant is just very, very tight and hard to get precisely every time. As Pete going in for shoot to the wild blue.
As we see m0m0 with a little bit of a lead here after this exchange that we've seen so far through Womps. Pete with a little difficulty getting up there. Taking care of the big womp up here.
Yep, as Pete going to be going up to the top of the fortress, m0m0 with a pretty decent few seconds of a lead.
Now, Electric, I got a question for you. What is the reasoning behind fighting the King Womp up here?
Well, you know, it seems that for whatever reason that King Womp is guarding this tower to the top of the fortress. And, you know, I think Mario just... He sees what looks like a natural goal and he pursues it without any sort of questioning. He's very much a just mindless drone of some sort of larger establishment, it seems. He sees what he thinks is a goal and then pursues it. I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Womp's even antagonizing him, as both these guys look like they're going to be pulling off nice 12-8, 12-9s again. 12-8 from m0m0's side and 12-9 from Pete's side. You make two guesses and don't specify which side each guess is for. You will be right more of the time. Commentator exercising that psychic knowledge.
Exercising discretion there and describing Mario being possibly a unit for an underground society, possibly. But as we get our red coins here in the sky, pretty easy movement here, nothing really too difficult.
Yeah, both of them taking a little bit of a time loss from that, just kind of flying more horizontally rather than taking some steep arcs that maintain better speed. But ultimately, you know, if they're both flying a little bit safe to make sure that they get those coins, then it kind of evens out. So no harm, no foul. Ultimately, yeah, very safe flying. Ultimately. As both them moving into the Dark World, can't really play this too safe. Shake Cycle pretty free as long as you get the movement relatively clean. But of course, there are a lot of points where things can very quickly go wrong. m0m0 and see Pete already falling victim to one of those points, taking that burn there. Gonna have to already start the backup route, grabbing these red coins in reverse order. As m0m0 still on decent pace for Shake Cycle, not opting to use that speed kick to maintain that speed going into the elevator triple, but still going to be on very nice healthy pace due to the consistency of the rest of this movement here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the cheese block for safety, dexterity, and very nice little shake cycle. Pete also going to be going for the cheese block first movement, but he does go ahead and take the amp to the face. Gonna have to accept the normal cycle, waiting around there. You can see that 4-second loss right there, just kind of stacking up all of these little mistakes from Pete's side, resulting in m0m0 gaining a pretty decent lead already and holding on to it through the end of the lobby, basically.
We'll see them take care of this Bowser. This first Bowser, probably definitely the easiest Bowser of the three. Pete just barely making that throw though. As I say that, m0m0 with a pretty solid lead.
It's a throw you don't expect people to miss, but when they do, it really hurts.
Well, and it was interesting. He went through for a harder throw there. You don't typically see runners throw Bowser high up in the air, but Pete going for that harder throw. You typically see them just kind of, what would you say, lift Bowser very slightly and let him kind of bounce over to the bong.
Yep, saving time on that spin normally, but m0m0 opting for what should have been consistency. Fortunately, it did work in his favor despite that weird sloppiness. m0m0 with the nice clean sky jump here. These guys making this trick look a lot easier than it actually is. Pretty difficult to actually get the distance out to get that ground pound to hit the star box.
Well, you've got to get that slide just right to get the speed. And once you have that speed, it's just flying. The way you fly and how you get up there, making sure you've got the right direction as we move into CCM.
Yep, m0m0 going to be hopefully going for wall kicks will work for first. And instead going to be opting to bring this little penguin down this roller coaster slide over to its mom. Nice and very easy sliding here. As Pete is going to be rocking this more advanced true wall kick strat, but wall kick not quite working out for him. These kicks working though, nice backup. And failing that strat doesn't actually lose that much time over the beginner strat, and unless you're really, really clean and consistent with the beginner strat, you're actually better off just attempting that and doing the backup if it comes to that. As Pete, though, missing the triple jump to get on top of the ledge here and gonna have to do a kind of awkward setup as m0m0 rocking said beginner strat here. Kind of taking the long way around it to that platform.
Interesting they decide to take that, not taking that faster strat, taking the easier strategy, taking a little bit more time.
Yeah, must not just feel confident in that advanced wall kick strat.
And you know what? In a playoff race, I'm fine with that. You know, using strategies that you know you're good at, not wasting time on strategies that you're not confident on. Consistency over speed. You know,
and m0m0 with a clean moonwalk.
Very nice moonwalk there.
m0m0 moonwalk get. Let's see if Pete can match that, and he does. Very nice. Love to see that from both sides here, as both these guys also going ahead and committing to that CCM 18 route. Not expecting a double pillarless in Division 2. Certainly a m0m0 with the kind of awkward
really
there.
Interesting bounce there, yeah.
Almost completely sliding off the edge of the cliff, but is able to prevent his cheeks getting completely clapped.
Looks like he was trying to go for a just optimize that angle there, and just not able to avoid that corner. Pete going for that backup there.
Yep, as m0m0 going to be starting off his big penguin slide. Certainly a pivotal moment here. As long as he gets this arc right here, and the arc is good, so can still miss one coin throughout the rest of this slide. Let's see how Pete fares. m0m0 falling behind the penguin, though, is able to navigate his way around. A little bit of a Monka for just a moment there. Pete, I didn't see, but it looks like based on his coin count that he did actually get that full arc. As m0m0 with the nice clean 100 coins here. and can certainly breathe a lot easier. If you miss too many coins on the slide, it's just a huge rip.
Easy 100 coins from both racers, able to get both these stars, these double star gets.
Yep. Race is actually a decent bit tighter than they were going into CCM, it seems.
This is really nice to see. You know, again, I've said this before in other races, the type of race that you want to see in the playoffs. You know, the consistency, this level of play, and everyone playing to the best of their ability, and giving a show after a long season.
Yep, certainly very high level play at the end of this season in both divisions, honestly. And m0m0 with the nice and clean bookshelf star get using that really sweet side flip. As Pete can be opting for Big Boo's balcony first. Not actually getting the side flip out, though, to get up on top of this initial little balcony. And you know what? Can't really blame him. It took me years to figure out how to get on top of that little balcony as a kid. I could see that there was something there, and when I finally did get up there and found this, like, third story, I was just, like, completely in awe. I was like, what?
And on top of the fact that you're trying to do this as fast as you possibly can in a race, you know, nerves have to be high right now, without a doubt. m0m0 able to get that star on top of the roof. As well, Pete missing that side flip again. Having a little difficulty with these side flips here.
Yep, is able to finally get the side flip dive out to grab the star and head on down to the basement. Now m0m0 going in for MIPS grab. I think we're going to be seeing a nice, healthy little dive here. No punch grab really expected. If he is rocking it, though, very nice to see. What's up, a broken hanger? And Pete with that nice little pancake movement. As m0m0 gets that nice dive grab. Is going to be hopping right into SSL momentarily. Should be a fun little time coming up here. Let's see how his pillarless attempts go. Does only have to get one pillarless, so...
Pete grabbing MIPS just a little bit more optimally than m0m0. Going for that normal pillarless. Getting a nice cannon. And a really nice angle, actually, as well.
Yeah, a little bit risky popping under the box like that. And Pete blowing up the bomb right in his face. Okay, does have a nice clean backup with shining atop, but that is going to certainly cost him. And m0m0 going into SSL with a lead, that's not what you want to see on Pete's side at all.
This plus this bomb grab giving racers across the board a lot of difficulty. Definitely.
And
Pete,
getting another bomb blown up right in his face. That I believe the grab is frame perfect. You do have 2 frames if you do know the medium bomb backup, but getting a medium bomb, you do have to do the trick completely differently than getting the big bomb. And yeah, missing that grab is just completely brutal, especially once you use up these 2 backups. Pete now getting the Talon Star, he doesn't have any other option. If he loses this next bomb, he's just going to have to wait for the respawn, and that's pretty costly time-wise.
Well, and then at what point do you stop going for these bomb grab pluses and just decide, okay, I need to move on, you know? If this is wasting time, if he can't get this, see, and he can't get it again, so
yeah, gonna be going ahead and going for the respawn, only losing a few seconds here. Nice decision tilting the camera that way to be able to see if the bomb respawned a bit early, and just cannot seem to get the grab for whatever reason. Is going to take the L and take the shell. Smart decision at this point in time. Not gonna waste any more time with that initial bomb grab. And, you know, actually, if you do this shell ride from the very beginning, I believe it only loses like 12, 13 seconds. It's upwards of 10 seconds, but ultimately, if you're not very consistent at plus, it's not a terrible idea to just try it once, go for one of these backups, and then go ahead and take the shell.
So Pete having to take the shell as m0m0 making his way through triple L.
Yeah, having a lot of problems with this wing cap triple.
Yeah, that triple jump, not able to get that in the first go.
So his star lead by 2. Pete certainly still in this race, but taking a huge time loss due to those fails. Going for the long jump strat over to these red coins in this maze. Or puzzle, not really a maze. It's a very easy maze if you consider it a maze. As m0m0 that bully right into the lava. Just beautiful.
Here we go.
m0m0 seeming to clean things up here. Starting to run away with this lead here. Hopefully Pete can pick up the pace.
Yeah, Pete missing this triple jump, matching m0m0's mistakes here. That's not how he wants to play this level. Is able to go ahead and just take that bonk right into the star, though.
We're taking a little bit of a booty burn. Not wanting to take another one. And
yeah, lands in the lava right next to those bullies. Manages to survive with 1 sliver of health. Goes ahead and gets that nice first try big bully kill, and is going to run away with Bully the Bullies as Pete is going in for his first bully kill.
making our way into the volcano. m0m0 going for his lava boost.
And nice and clean. Good ending movement, just going ahead and opting for these pulls.
Very nice lava boost from m0m0. And Pete getting the triple bully and a firstie on that last bully.
As m0m0 going to be heading in for his elevator tour. Pretty easy star overall, especially after you end up getting the lava boost out of the way.
Here we go.
Taking a little bit of a ledge grab there as he goes into this volcano. Pete going for his lava boost. Going for that triple jump. Again, a little bit safer of a strategy.
Yeah, and interesting noises coming from the Commentators microphone.
Actually, it was a lightning strike. We've got a storm out here in the Commentators booth.
Big rip. Monka S is in the chat, and GSA S if you got him. Pete going to be heading into the volcano himself, going for that very last little elevator tour star. As m0m0, beautiful corner chest opening there, making these chests look very easy, but it's pretty tricky trying to open them from this oblique angle that runners try to hit them at for that speed maintenance.
Trying to swim optimally, get the right angles, taking care of these chests. Yeah.
Making a lot of movement towards that star. Look, just one little breaststroke away from the star after the cutscene. Very clean movement there. So Pete, a full chest star away from m0m0 at the moment.
While we have the time, we're taking on some stars that are a little bit slower. Got pace coming up 6 days. Electric, you're going to be there.
Yep, I still can't believe that my flight is in 5 days for pace. It's pretty wild to think about. I'm super, super excited for this event.
So
gonna have all sorts of really awesome finals, including, so this is the Div 2 playoffs, the Division 1 live semifinals group stage is going to be at pace. as well as the Celeste Any% and SMO Any% leagues. And I'm super excited for all three. Seeing those races live, they're just going to be so hype all the way through.
So Pace, GSA's first ever live speedrun tournament event in Xanadu. Check out the schedule, type !Pace in chat, exclamation point merch. Check out the merch that we've got for Pace and GSA. Sweatshirts and shirts looking really nice.
Indeed. Certainly going to be an event and merch you don't want to miss out on. And I mean, yeah, in addition to those live finals, we're also going to have a number of really dope showcase runs, including a 4-way 120-star race between Cheese, Punkation, D Whatever, and Siglemic.
That's going to be the big race, man.
Oh yeah, super, super excited for that race. It's, those in the know have actually been seeing Siglemic practice, and he's been pulling some pretty impressive stuff. He's going to be performing really, really well in that race, and it's going to be awesome to see him playing for the first time in, like, I think years at this point. So super hype. And there's also just like a number of really cool other showcase runs, like OOT's getting some real love with an Any% and a Hundo. It's going to be super awesome to see live. Just a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Lots of exciting stuff. A lot of exciting stuff here as we make our way through Fire Sea.
m0m0 getting, looks like lava boost, as he does unfortunately take a burn to prevent that good ending. Kind of rough to get that movement and then have to lose all this time to something so preventable ultimately.
Taking a double booty burn as he gets that last red coin.
Gonna be going ahead and performing his long jump into the star and gonna head in for Bowser himself. Pete doesn't really have a lot of time to make up on the start, but can make up some seconds on that ending because of m0m's unfortunate burns there. And already taking a burn on this opening movement, just jump diving too early.
Just an immediate dive into the lava there.
And getting the Tony Hawk grind to boot.
Interesting grind there.
He's just going to go ahead and commit to this movement. Not really sure how to back up all of these pretty critical mistakes at this beginning here. Is he even still on pace for early LEs? I'm not quite sure. Have to see where the elevators are at whenever he gets this red up here. Good movement otherwise, though. And it looks like, yeah, early LEs is pretty well dead. That's really unfortunate. Pete not able to make up any time and going to lose time to m0m's already kind of unfortunate Fire Sea performance. As m0m putting that key in for the upstairs.
Pete needing to find an answer as m0m is blazing away here. Moving his way upstairs. Pete taking a burn.
Yeah, you pretty well accept those later burns if you don't end up getting a good cycle. But having to take normal elevators, not able to get that good ending is certainly really unfortunate. As m0m with the double-double, very nice kicks on those boxes. Super Mario Pro Skater confirmed. Well, I mean, there's Mario Tennis, there's Mario Golf. They have all the other sports already. Skateboarding is just inevitable at this point. m0m getting some pretty decent star RNG here, or coin RNG, my bad.
Pretty good movement so far. A little bit of hiccups here and there with m0m, but nothing too crazy going on. And Pete taking care of Fire Sea Bowser as m0m.
They're having lots of issues with that jump falling off that slope there.
Just not able to get the ledge grab or not able to side flip.
Yeah, is able to go up to this Chucky with an extra coin, though it doesn't really matter the RNG that he gets. And it's still good, so he is able to finish out this last line a little bit cleaner. As you can see right there. Very nice. And now m0m going ahead and collecting Secret Star as Pete just now entering the wet dry world painting. Pete certainly has his work cut out for him, but it's not impossible at all. A lot of things can happen in the upstairs section of this run. m0m0 knows this as well as anyone.
Well, we've still got 30, 34, 35 stars to go. Anything can happen. And has happened, so Pete not out of this just yet.
Pete opting to go ahead and start with some of the shorter stars here, getting some awkward movement up that initial box staircase, but gets some good wall kicks and is able to make up some time on the last bit of this elevator star.
m0m0 not having any difficulty with that side flip.
Yeah, actually making up some time on Pete for that very clean elevator star. And Senior Kitten's bullying commentators in the commentary booth. You know, they needed my presence here. They didn't have anyone, unfortunately, to accompany Scotch in the booth, so I had to go ahead and fill in that spot for the home
Commentator committing to the job, giving up his own time. Very nice.
Yeah, m0m0 just very nice progression through Wet Dry World here. Going to be going ahead and moving into THI for just a couple of quick ones.
Pete, not as good RNG, missing 2 coins there.
Yeah, is able to go ahead and get one back as he's walking back through there. So is able to still stay on coin count. Pretty handy. Not going to have to go for the backup just yet. But the RNG just not really treating him super well here with these coin spawns.
That little flame that came out as he took out that Skeeter. Coins popping out in a very optimal spot. As m0m0 taking care of those THI secrets.
You know, really clean movement as Pete with the kind of awkwardly angled side flip gonna have to take the ledge grab up there. Pete is able to get the stair movement a lot cleaner this time around during secrets. Go ahead and take in this coin box and then move right on. And he goes ahead and misses a coin here. He's actually one short. He's gonna have to go ahead and take that back up later on. That's pretty unfortunate. And the other one was pretty easy. Look at that. It's still on top of the cage.
Still sitting there. Yeah, I saw it. And he misses!
Okay, this isn't quite as bad as it looks because he did already have to come down here for the backup. Wait, no, it is as bad as it looks because he could have just gotten that backup on his way over here for the star. So, very bad 100 coin luck from Pete as m0m0's just running away with THI at the moment. Gonna go ahead and plug some piranha plants for us. How am I? I'm doing well, you know, just sitting here in the commentary booth watching some nice Mario gameplay. Couldn't ask for anything else in the world.
m0m0 doing his best job with the lawn care, taking out those pesky piranhas. Pete making his way into THI. We'll get these secrets. Pretty decent secrets from Pete as well.
That's what you always certainly love to see. As m0m0 going in for his first mountain clip, nice and clean. And the log wall kick is good. Gonna get this nice healthy triple up here, but not quite getting enough distance up the slope. You know, certainly safer to go ahead and offer these kicks despite how much slower they are.
And Pete having a little bit of difficulty moving on over to these piranhas. m0m0 able to back that up. Small mistakes here and there, nothing too crazy so far.
Yeah,
Pete,
m0m0, though, with a very nice lead that he's not having to worry too much about these mistakes he's making. Not taking any deaths or any, like, huge multiple, like, tens of seconds of errors, so
yeah,
doesn't have too much to complain about.
Pete, the only one really taking these bigger mistakes, especially with that Wet Dry World 100, missing the coin, missing that platform, um, definitely showing weakness, and missing the ground pound for that star in the box.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Pete is already pretty well just looking forward to race 2 at the moment.
Here we go.
m0m0 looking pretty confident through TTM, one of the harder parts of this run. TTM can just absolutely wreak havoc on some runners.
Yeah, m0m0, though, maintaining very high levels of confidence here, is going to be able to make his way nice and handy over towards this star, not opting for breezeless at all.
Pete working on his TTM red coins. Safe movement, but also pretty quick. As Pete finishes up his reds, m0m0 taking care of reds on that end.
Here we go.
m0m0 is going to be making his way into Snowman's Land. Making his way up the Snowman's Head. Certainly one of the hardest part of Snowman's Land course, and able to take care of it pretty easily. Pete getting bullied there by the Shy Guy. Again, missing that. Pete having a lot of difficulty with these side flips today. Not able to get that wall kick.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to see that wall kick fail like that, but m0m0, meanwhile, going really nicely through Snowman's Land here, not making any huge mistakes.
m0m0 seeming to find a groove.
Here we go.
Able to take care of that iced house.
Yep, the deep freeze, no match for him whatsoever, and that nice triple jumping ability. Pete, meanwhile, going to be going in for breezeless, it looks like. Let's see. And it's
Wow!
good! Very nice.
Nice
Flip right into the wall there.
That'll be a big confidence boost on his part moving forward, knowing, you know, I don't know if he's seeing the opposite screen or if he's watching m0m0 at all, but m0m0 not going for breezeless at all, and Pete able to get it on the first go.
Yeah, saving a couple of seconds. Unfortunately, not a huge time save, but as you said, a big confidence boost moving into SL. And Pete not quite a full course behind, but m0m0 certainly leaving his lead cut out for him. As Pete going for the beginner Snowman's head strap, but pulling it off pretty cleanly overall, just taking a couple of things a little bit safe. You know, for a moment, I actually thought he was about to go into the igloo, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know, having a little difficulty making his way up the head of the snowman, able to back it up.
Well, I think he actually was just taking that beginner movement.
Oh, okay.
Like not even going for that kind of difficult slide and then wall kick off of the pretty thin platform. m0m0, though, with a nice second mip skit as he goes ahead and moves into HMC, punches Toad in the face, and goes ahead and grabs the star from him.
I was re-watching some races, and I re-listened to your commentary on Peach and the as the oil baron. I really like that that theory.
Well, I mean, why else would HMC exist? It's just such a big cavernous space that, like, it doesn't really make sense in the context of the Mushroom Kingdom. Why there'd just be this poison cave in the middle of nowhere with these, like, weird mutated bugs and, like, I mean, oh, synchronized Stargates. Very
Yeah,
nice.
fake sync there.
m0m0 Star Sync in the chat. m0m0 watching for Rolling Rock 2. RNG seems to be treating him well. And goes ahead and picks up that star nice and handy as Pete is going to be making his way out of Snowman's Land now. m0m0,
Those boulders can cause a real problem if that RNG isn't optimal.
yeah, and especially if you're not able to react very quickly for whatever reason. So Pete a little bit less than a full HMC behind. Is m0m0 on PB pace? Not entirely sure. What do you happen to know what m0m0's PB is?
I don't know off the top of my head. If someone has it though, I can look it up as well.
I mean, getting into Tippy with this timing should be pretty decent pace, but not entirely sure. Pete is going to be making his way right into HMC right behind m0m0 though, as m0m0 going for that Christmas Miracle. Instant dive. And it pays off for him. Very nice. As Pete going in for his triple box jump, missing the actual triple off the box though. Yeah, just he cannot get in the middle of the box for whatever reason. Gonna go ahead and back it up and just try again from an initial setup.
We see guys get that triple box jump a lot, but what you don't realize is how difficult it is to line up perfectly on that box. So,
Yeah.
You know, Pete showing how that it is difficult, even though we see runners get it all the time. It's almost a free one, but still very, very difficult.
Even that initial double jump wall kick is pretty hard to perform. It takes a while to actually get the timing down.
Pete able to get that triple box jump on the second go, and m0m0 in Tippy.
Yeah, very nice triple jump off the staircase to go ahead and enter Rainbow right here. As he's going to be going for Lakitu bounce first, opting for the pretty safe standard wall kick rather than the glitchy wall kick. Does miss Lakitu though. Lakitu just flying a little bit too far out below the platform, basically. Going to be trying to get into the maze, but not able to actually get his wall kick to propel him far enough sideways to get above that little awning. And again, just having a lot of trouble actually positioning the analog stick.
And as you're saying that, Pete, not really sure what's going on.
Pete not able to actually get his side flip wall kick for Christmas Miracle. Just spaghetti flying out from all sides at the moment, it seems.
A lot of spaghetti. I wouldn't be surprised if there were sauce and meatballs involved with it.
Well, I mean, that would make it into a complete meal, and this is not complete whatsoever. This is certainly the very dry spaghetti that you're attempting to eat raw and just very choking.
Not even good spaghetti, as Pete finally able to get that Christmas Miracle star, not able to get the Christmas Miracle, having to back it up multiple times.
Yeah, very choking, much spaghetti. Exactly right. m0m0 is able to get the Lakitu bounce the second try though. Let's see, he's able to get the pole grab very clean, not having to deal with Mario re-grabbing the pole at all.
Pete taking a bonk.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Oh, electric. What did I tell you about touching my food?
I'm sorry. I just.
Okay. It's okay. I forgive you.
Commentators with the ASMR in the booth. Is m0m0 gonna go ahead and run in for tricky triangles real quick? Nice rollout over the flame there. And cool movement through these triangles, not tricky at all for someone of m0m0's caliber. Just has to go in, swing on the breeze a little bit, and then he'll be moving on to TikTok Clock.
TikTok Clock, certainly the hardest part of this 70-star run. Making or breaking runs, making or breaking races.
Yeah, and I mean, there are harder individual stars, but I think as a whole, TTC is just consistently hard, especially with TTC 100 and some of the like more top of the clock type stars like time jumps on moving bars or pit and pendulums. Both of those can cause a lot of trouble if you just mess up a little bit of the intro movement.
m0m0 and Pete having a little bit of trouble with Rainbow Ride. Pete having a little difficulty getting those reds, and m0m0 having to back up that swingy in the breeze. Able to avoid a death, fortunately.
Yeah, as m0m0 going ahead and opting for Toad before TTC, and so now he'll be moving in for his TTC 100 coin with 63 stars, so he will be exiting TTC with 70 at the end of it.
Pete able to get that lag 2 bounce. Not losing too much time over m0m0, who also had difficulty with that lag 2 bounce.
Yeah, nice clean sequence of movement from m0m0 so far.
Pete taking a bonk, almost taking a death, narrowly avoiding it as he makes his way onto the ship here.
Yeah, but meanwhile, m0m0 is able to make his way pretty fancily up the tower. Is able to get up to 70 coins, but this 70 to 80 range, a huge choke point, able to avoid these invis walls.
Oh, we're doing a very nice job with these 100. Really clean 100 from m0m0.
Do we want to explain the spaghetti thing for you? It's just, it's a long time meme. I think originating out of like 4chan green texts of like when things get awkward, spaghetti comes out of your pockets, and it's just kind of extended to like when you start just doing badly in a race, it's like spilling spaghetti everywhere. Pete having to go back in for swinging in the breeze here, but is able to get it this try. m0m0 meanwhile opting for some of these very quick stars throughout the rest of TikTok Clock, starting out with the slightly higher ones, eating the ice cream cone from the top down as you should.
m0m0 having a really nice TikTok Clock. Talk to Toad before moving his way in. So as soon as we see, and Pete missing a coin there, and he's gonna take a death.
Yeah, a huge fall off that platform, not able to really do anything about it.
It seemed really awkward. He missed that second red coin, and then he missed the 5th one, and it just seemed kind of out of sorts. And this whole is a lot of these stars are about muscle memory. And if you start messing up, it's gonna show itself in other areas. So Pete taking a death.
Yep, and then of course missing that side flip wall kick, or sorry, not a side flip, I don't think, just a standard wall kick. And really unfortunate. Oh, and then
Missing
not able
2
to get the
coins
long
there.
jump out there.
Pete missing a lot of coins on these 100.
Yeah, he did get that safety red at the start, so it is okay though, unfortunately. As m0m0 going in for his standard reds here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this star and take this nice little fall right down to the spawner. As Pete, meanwhile, goes ahead and finishes up his 100 coin with some grace at least.
So m0m0, having gotten Toad already, will make his way immediately from this star into bits. And as long as he can keep things clean from here on out, he will take race number 1. And as I say that, he takes a fall. avoiding a death. A little bit of Commentator's curse.
Yeah, you always hate to see Commentator's curse in any sort of effect. As Pete with another death in TikTok.
What
a
happened
shame.
there? I saw the end of that. I wasn't really sure. Did he dive into that or?
Yeah, pretty much like just kind of just a movement mistake at that point as m0m0 in go mode. Nice and healthy entrance into bits. Looks like he is at pretty nice 51 potential here.
Asking earlier, m0m0's PB is a 50-33. Not really a possibility now, obviously.
Yeah, an unfortunate PB death with that rainbow ride set of mistakes. As m0m0 can't get this triple jump dive. One little thing, like pointing out the precision in this game, that little bitty turn that Mario did just before m0m0 started his triple jump there, that was from just tilting the stick just barely out of neutral. And the fact that Mario didn't actually like take a step in any direction at all means that he actually did that really, really precisely. It's pretty hard, especially if you end up using a Hori, which I think m0m0 is a N64 controller player, but on a Hori, it's especially difficult hitting so close to the dead zone without it just either getting accepted as like you trying to walk a little bit forward or just going straight into the dead zone. As m0m0 in the Bowser fight now, let's see if he can clinch this 51 with some nice clean 3 free throws.
We're looking for that m0m0 big star get here. As he finishes up, gets the first throw.
Yeah, hitting that nice extended range on that bomb. And, ooh, just barely missing this one.
Just narrowly. Those hitboxes on those bombs are pretty forgiving. Not forgiving enough, though, for that throw.
Yeah, and yet again, just a little bit too far left. Also interesting to note that m0m0 choosing to spin Bowser counterclockwise. I believe most runners actually choose to try to spin clockwise. At least I do.
Maybe he's left-handed. I don't know. But I think you're right.
And that throw doesn't... Yeah, no, not quite going to cut it. Bowser going to jump back up yet again. Missing all kinds of throws, giving Pete some time to go ahead and make up here. But m0m0 is going to clinch this third throw. Get your big star gets ready.
And m0m0 with this will take race number 1 of a possible 3. And again, so this is a little bit different than the D1 playoff races. This is a knockout round. You know, this isn't going to go to 3 matches. This is 2 out of 3 races, and then it's either you're in or you're out.
Yep.
So Pete is going to need to find, you know, an answer, figure out how to, you know, clean up these mistakes from this first run, and attempt to take races 2 and 3. Otherwise, m0m0 taking the next race will end this match.
Yep, and certainly not quite the way that especially Pete wants this to end up. So Pete is going to go ahead and finish out this first race, though I guess he just goes ahead and wants the bits practice here. Can't blame him for that, especially with what's riding on the line with this second race.
No, you really can't. You know, I see a lot of times a lot of guys just don't, you know, if they don't make it into bits and the round ends, they don't do it at all. And then if they make it into bits in the second round, they're not playing as cleanly. So it's good to see Pete wanting to make sure that he's you know, up to standards and knows the layout and gets that practice that he needs.
Yep, and taking a pretty unfortunate fall down right to the bottom here. But is going to be able to make his way back up bits. nice triple jump off of these wood blocks to go ahead and make his way up to the elevators to close out bits. Let's see if he can get some cleaner throws than m0m0. Can certainly make up some time on that.
You know what this might also do? You know, and Pete, to a degree, might be cooling off m0m0.
Could be, could be.
You know, making m0m0 sit and wait for a little while, having won the first race, you know. m0m0 just sitting there kind of waiting for Pete to finish. Could be
might lose some of that warm up.
Exactly. You know, it might be a strategy, you know. I kind of like that.
And, you know, Pete missing these throws certainly fits in a little bit to that conspiracy theory. Chat needing to go ahead and pull out their tinfoil hats as Pete goes ahead and misses another throw pretty wide left there. Seemed to be just outside the hitbox, but even so. And that one, oh, it's still not quite.
Grazing. Just grazing that hitbox, probably.
And still, just trying
Still
for the
alive
at this point and not quite working out. And it's finally right on target. Let's go. Pete going to go ahead and close out this race one with a 56.
Pete commenting in chat that at least he got a sub 1. Easy. Very nice. And we'll get ready for race number 2. We'll want to see Pete clean up a lot of these mistakes. You know, a lot of times we see racers, once they've gone through at least one race, they're able to go into the second race a lot cleaner, cleaning up mistakes, and making a better run as a whole. So we'll want to see Pete, like I said, clean up these mistakes. And m0m0 will likely be walking into this with a little bit of confidence, saying to himself, you know, okay, I've got race number 1. Let me just clinch out race number 2 and get this done.
Yeah, m0m0 certainly with the easier job here, just trying to win one race rather than 2 straight. But, you know, if Pete can go ahead and pull off a consistent run, he could certainly run away with this match 2 and a match 3 if he ends up starting it immediately after and kind of holding on to that big momentum. And momentum is really the big key thing here. We'll have to see if Pete's strategy trying to cool off m0m0 a little bit ends up working out for him, or if it ends up just being a little bit of a flawed attempt at trickery.
Well, we'll see if either of their strategies works here. The confidence built for m0m0, or if Pete can clean up those mistakes as we make our way into this second race.
Yeah, both of them getting nice clean Lakitu skips as m0m0 and Pete going in for their first bomb clip. m0m0 with a mild lead just because of that JP version. Or the completion times in the first round, m0m0 had a low 51 while Pete had a 56.
m0m0 not having any trouble with that bomb this second go around. Again, that first round, m0m0 having the bomb explode on him, having to back it up. This time not having any trouble at all.
Yep, and still holding on to this lead pretty handily, exiting BOB. Slide coming up. Chat, what are your guesses? I am personally going to have to say, from m0m's side, we're going to see another 12-8 to kick off this race. From Pete, Let's go ahead and see a 12-7. I think he's actually on slate in the script to go ahead and do a 12-7 for us.
I'd agree with that.
A little bit of a difference in approaches we can see here. m0m0 lining right up for a nice 13, actually. But Pete right on schedule with a 12-7.
Pete following the script, getting that 12-7. Having a little trouble getting that star there, though. So yielding back a little bit of time back to m0m0, who took just 3 extra milliseconds on that slide.
Yep. And m0m0, though, taking those seconds back with the instant star grab as opposed to Pete having to do kicks running right back up to it. And the Baker guy asking, is the Japanese version normally faster? In this game, yes, and in many games, especially ones that are text-heavy, it is due to Japanese text being able to represent more meaning with fewer characters. But in this game, the way that text boxes are arranged, there are a number of situations where the English text, due to the characters being so condensed, like in the English version, there will be 2 boxes, where in the Japanese, there will be 3 and stuff like that. And so for 70-star, English is actually like a second faster. Also, due to a couple of other differences that we don't see in this category, the other categories have Japanese being faster. Namely, like in like JRB, for instance, the star on like the one that you have to shoot to with the cannon is exposed on JP, but it's in a box on English. And so you have to break that box and watch that little cutscene if you try to run 120 star on English. But yeah, that's why you see Pete running on English, because it's actually more optimal for this category.
m0m0 missing that cannonless with that sock folder setup.
Yeah, having to go ahead and
back
go
it
for
up.
that wild blue backup, and that's gotta lose him a little bit of confidence, since that difference, or sorry, since that strat is supposed to be really consistent and just failing is pretty dramatic. And yeah, Super M also with the good point that Peach doesn't actually read the letter in the Japanese intro, so the Japanese intro does save a little bit of time, which is why m0m0 started this race with the lead before they even went in the castle. And m0m0 getting the full setup nice and clean here, so he is able to go ahead and save at least a little bit of time, but still losing a little bit of his lead to Pete, as Pete makes his way through 100 coin. Now he's past that choke point that he had before, so he is going to be clenching this out pretty cleanly, despite that little bit of bobble after the half cycle completion.
Missed 2 coins on that cycle completion, but I don't think it should be a problem, right?
Right, yeah, there's 8 on this ring, so he's going to be fine with these 2 lines right here.
Missing
and there we go.
Missing that first coin on that first line, taking a little bit of time and not grabbing that star optimally, taking a pretty high jump.
Yeah, meanwhile, m0m0 going to go ahead and commit to half cycle here, as he's going to be moving into the ending of his own reds.
So Pete, again, here with a slight lead as we work our way through Womps, but just in the first race, he's slowly but surely giving slight seconds back to m0m0.
Yep, and that's really, I feel like what's going to lose Pete this race is just making those progressive mistakes that keep hemorrhaging time throughout the course of the run.
So, like I said before, we won't want to see Pete clean things up. Not able to clean that up, though. Missing that ledge grab, missing the ledge grab and the platform altogether. m0m0 able to get it on the first go. Yep. Oh, and not able to get the star optimally, having to ground pound twice for it, whereas m0m0 will get it right away. Again, just giving costly seconds.
Yep, like we were just saying, I mean, just like the last race, Pete making these mistakes that over time are going to add up pretty significantly and end up resulting in m0m0 developing a pretty nice, safe early lead. But Pete is able to go ahead and get this movement first try. Going for the side flip strat. And now m0m0 going to be making his way over to the slide as Pete does the same. Pete still clenching on that mild lead.
Looking, I'm gonna guess 2 12-8s here.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm actually thinking Pete with a 12-9, m0m0 with a 12-9 as well.
Pete getting a 13 there already. m0m0 with the 12-8.
You know, well, an average of 12-9. I'd say that's still a decently accurate prediction. As m0m0 missing the ground pound to actually break that box open for the star. As Pete going into wing cap, let's see, I'm assuming he's going to opt for these safe arcs yet again.
Pete grabbing those 8 pretty safely. m0m0 missing 1 on his way around, having to back it up. Nothing too critical though.
Yep, he's going to have to take a kind of weird approach to get this tech skip, but is able to nail it nice and handy. As Pete opening up the 8-star door. Going to be going in for Dark World real quick. Now remember last time he did end up having to settle for a normal cycle here. Let's see if he can do a little bit better this time around.
The first thing was he got that booty burn. He'll want to avoid it there, which he does.
It's already on better pace. And m0m0 matching as well. Pete with a very, very comfortable lead on Shig Cycle.
Pete with a very clean red in Dark World.
Yeah, making nice tight cycles on both sides.
And this is the kind of thing that I was talking about. You know, he had a lot of this round, showing no problems this second round. These are the type of mistakes we want him to fix here to be able to clinch and take this to 3, but missing a throw.
Yeah, that's not going to do a whole lot for his time, unfortunately. Should be able to make this throw right after, but m0m0 going to be making up significant time with that missed throw. Yeah, so long time save, more like, it feels.
Well, it seems like Pete taketh the time and then giveth back the time to m0m0. Playing with a certain level of consistency.
Yeah, both consistent in his gameplay, but also consistent in the mistakes he's making. And you're right. It's like he's a time loan shark almost. He gives the time and then aggressively takes it back with force. As both these guys going in for sky jump, let's see if they can go ahead and get sky jump as clean as they did this first time around. Pete looks like right in line for it, but the ground pound just a little bit short, as m0m0 is able to get it nice and clean, having no issues whatsoever with what can be a pretty tricky strat for a lot of folks.
m0m0 slowly but surely crawling up on Pete. Badonkers, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub.
Yeah, really, really appreciate it. Let's see some GSA fire in the chat.
A little bit of sub hype.
Only a little bit of sub hype. Come on, we can do better.
A lot of
than just
sub.
a little bit.
We can do a lot of sub hype. And we'll go ahead and make our way into CCM. Pete going for his wall kicks will work.
Let's see how his strat works out this time around as
Taking a
opposed
bonk.
to those last attempts.
He'll take a bonk, but back it up again. The backup's still faster than the easy way to get that done.
Yeah, especially when you're able to back up as efficiently as these guys are from practicing it so much. Because it can be a pretty intimidating strat to get all of it correct, but when you do, it's so satisfying, especially with all the time save you can get. Meanwhile, m0m0 just going ahead and rocking the wah strat.
Here we go.
But nice kicks up to the star there. Pretty well synchronized star grabs. Not exactly synced, but they're close. This is your Bubsy 3D sync.
Hey, go.
m0m0 tasting the dust of Pete, who's slowing down a little bit here.
Yeah, look at how close both of them actually are at this point.
This isn't a sync. This is as close to a sync as you can get.
And the near simultaneous moonwalk's nice. Okay, we really got ourselves a race. Do whatever with the huge point in chat with the Madeline Poggers. Time to put your VR headsets on, folks.
This has gotten really exciting as we've made our way through
Hey, go.
this lobby.
Yeah, 100 coin on the mountain. Winterized slide music intensifies. That's one thing I didn't realize about this game until one of the co-coms pointed it out during commentary. The winter music is just the slide music, but winterized.
It seems like Nintendo reuses a lot of music for different aspects of their games. You know, you'll hear.
Their OSTs are all about like motifs like that, and it's really cool.
And now we've got an actual sync as we make our way down this slide.
And both of them getting the arcs nice and clean. Not sure where exactly m0m0 lost that first point at, though. Dead evening coin counts. Maybe I was just looking at the coin counts in the wrong time.
So Pete went for the backup, that backup red on the broken bridge at the bottom of the course.
Okay, so Pete actually going ahead and missing a couple to account for that safety. Got it. Yeah, Mum, get the camera! Pete incurring some pretty massive lag, falling a little bit behind m0m0. I think he was actually a little bit ahead during the slide.
Well, we'll see. Pete talking to the penguin first because he finished that slide quicker. So the penguin, obviously, the dialogue box popping out a little faster than m0m0, regardless of being a little bit slower with that 100 coin grab, star grab. But this race, very interesting as we make our way into Big Boo's haunt. Within what, a second or two of each other?
Yeah, something like that. They're very, very close at the moment.
Hey, go.
Yeah, Pete going in at 5:18, m0m0 at 15:20. m0m0 having
nice
to take
bookshelf star.
Having to take an extra ground pound there as Pete makes his way upstairs. Took a ledge grab to get up there, but having not a lot of trouble with that Big Boo.
It's always nice to see players able to pull that off nice and clean. That strat can be a little bit tricky on occasion.
Now, speaking of the Big Boo, and I know you're a big fan of theories, right? But
Hey, go.
the Big Boo sounds a heck of a lot like the Big Womp.
Yep, you know, I think I was actually kind of the first to identify that the Big Boo likely the ghost of the Big Womp, but he also, I think, sounds a little bit like the King Bomb at times too. I think it really is a lot more general. I think it's just the ghost of every boss that Mario has defeated. Just, you know, trying to get its revenge, but still not able to defeat Mario. Just the really insane conqueror of the Mushroom Kingdom.
The insane conqueror himself conquering Big Boo's haunt, moving downstairs. Both these guys will attempt to conquer SSL.
Yeah, Pete having a lot of trouble with Pillarless last time. Let's see how he approaches it this time around. Hopefully able to get this first try, but you know he's got to be nervous right now, knowing that this race could very well be on this trick alone.
Here
see them take on Pete. Immediately going for that bomb grab, able to get it.
And 1 pound, 2 pound, red pound, blue pound, and he clips right in. m0m0 now attempting as well with kind of an awkward angle, able to readjust on the pyramid, but his clip is good. All right, first try pluses from both guys. We've really got ourselves a race, folks.
Well, that would be a huge confidence boost on both sides. Having gotten that out of the way, definitely the hardest trick in SSL through this 70-star race.
Yeah, kind of wild how uneven SSL is in difficulty, because Talon Star and Shining atop the pyramid really are not difficult stars at all, but when you put Pillarless in SSL, suddenly it just becomes a brutal stage.
Pete sliding a little bit past that Talon Star. Able to get it though. Not wasting too much time.
Hegel.
Is Cheese still in this? Yes, Cheese is in the Division 1 of the playoff series. And yeah, under that link that was just pulled up in chat, you can go ahead and check the playoff standings and such. But yes, this is Division 2, so Cheese was actually in the Division 1 league, as D whatever just answered. And both these guys in Lethal Lava Lamp. Pete starting out with reds here. m0m0 also following suit, both with the long jump strats, not rocking those dives. You can't blame them. No, these runners are committing to the same route. Since they both got their Pillarless, they're both going to be doing HMC late, so there's no reason for them to do different routes.
The only real time that we would see a different route is if they decided to not do the Pillarless and if they decided to do CCM 18, right?
Or if they decided to do CCM 17, actually.
17, excuse me, sorry, yeah, CCM 17.
And yeah, or if they just failed Pillarless enough times and then just decided to do HMC early instead.
So now that we're past that, fortunately, this will be a pretty much synchronized route up until the end. And Lethal Lava Land not being too lethal just yet.
Yeah, Commentators Curse might be in effect sometime soon, hopefully not. Pete having a little bit of trouble with this big bully, but is able to get the kill, and I think m0m0 is going to make up a little bit of time. Yep. m0m0 passing right over the star, though, is able to go ahead and land right back on the platform with that burn, fortunately.
Fortunately, enough power from that burn to lift him back up, but flying clean over that star.
Yeah, big oof. He definitely was starting to pull a lot closer in the sink, so really unfortunate to see that big mistake costing him that almost lead. As Pete, meanwhile, going to bully the bullies now.
m0m0 following suit.
And he gets the very nice taunt and very, very clean. That's picture perfect, exactly how that star is supposed to be performed.
m0m0 able to get the triple as well.
Yeah, just about the full star grab animation apart. Pretty close to synchronized at the moment.
This is a great race. This is a really, really nice race. I've got to say, both guys are playing really well. A couple of mistakes on both sides, but keeping it tight regardless.
Yeah, I'm certainly hoping that we end up seeing this race stay this close out of Fire Sea. Certainly keeps things very, very interesting.
Well, this is it's the kind of race that we as commentators want to see, you know. Not a blowout on either side, not a whole lot of mistakes. We want to see clean play. We want to see a tight race. You know, it's a commentator's dream come true, really.
Yep. And Pete taking the triple jump lava boost, a lot safer, a little bit slower, but gets it nice and clean, so it certainly pays off. As he's going to be going in now for elevator tour. m0m0 already going ahead and taking care of elevator tour, though. And he's going for the long jump setup here. And it's good. Very nice. Not having to go as high above the platform and double back around like Pete did. As both of them near synced going into the the wet area of DDD, not wet dry world. Commentator just getting everything mixed up in his head today. Seemingly not knowing the game, has never actually seen this game before. You know, Raymond certainly looks very weird in 3D. Not exactly sure why he's a red man wearing overalls rather than a rabbit.
I thought we were playing Sonic.
Oh,
It's a speedrun,
dude.
right? It's a speedrun, right? So we gotta go fast.
But I don't see any rings, and I don't see a timer or anything.
Well, we're about to see some rings here pretty soon with DDD and the Manta, but first we'll take care of these chests.
FFVD with the very, very well thought out guess that it was Tetris story mode.
I'm loving chat right now.
Yep, and both of them right. The race is very, very close. m0m0 taking the wide arc to make sure that he gets in optimal position to swim right over to the star after the chest opening.
This has been close for about 10 minutes now. Like ever since we walked out of CCM, it's been neck and neck. Still got a good 20-25 minutes to go. 25 plus minutes to go in this race, so hopefully we can see this level of consistency the whole way through.
Yeah, it's wild to think about, like, both how major of a checkpoint Fire Sea is in the run and how much of the run still remains after.
Both these guys going for rear sub for that star.
Yep, and now m0m0 going ahead and following the Manta. The aforementioned rings. There we go. I think that's kind of an accurate ring noise. I don't know. It's been a little bit since I played Sonic Mania.
Commentator attempting to make his way into the next Super Mario game. Voice acting.
You know, here's hoping. I offer my services to anyone making a ROM hack. I will do any sound you want for Mario in a ROM hack.
m0m0 taking a little bit of a booty burn there. Gonna mess up his cycle.
Yeah, as Pete gets a much better start this time around, though.
Certainly.
Is going to take a little bit of a wall ride that may actually go ahead and cost him early LEs.
And if Pete's quick enough here, he might be able to make it. It's close, though. It's very close.
Yeah, it looks like early LEs is certainly still on the table.
Oh, he's just barely able to get it with that triple jump there.
Fortunately for m0m0, it's pretty well dead, and Pete is going to be running away with a pretty significant lead going into the upstairs as long as he can go ahead and clinch out the ending of this Bowser fight here. m0m0 bonking instead of getting the wall kick there, and have to take the triple the other way.
Well, Pete, a little bit of a wall kick on the edge of that brick there.
Yeah,
not able to get up there.
Worst burn. Getting zapped by the amp and then just falling right into the lava. No choice but to go ahead and just take that burn.
A lot of spaghetti in this Fire Sea. Very Monka-esque.
Moving with a pretty nice lead, so he certainly has to be thankful for that. And we've got m0m0 meanwhile. Throw Bowser. Nicely done.
After kind of a sketchy Fire Sea on both sides of the screen, able to take care of Fire Sea Bowser. And we'll make our way upstairs into a wet, dry world.
Both of them making some pretty nice progress here with some nice 27 upstairs entries. As Pete moving into wet, dry world, let's see what he's got for his 100 coin here. It looks like he's actually going to be starting with one of the other stars, probably elevator first.
Looks that way.
Yeah, Bowser's theme music in those first two fights is nice, but like the last fight is just so epic. N64 boss fights for Mario and Zelda were so good for music, especially. Like Ganon playing the organ when you go into the boss fight in OOT. Oh man. I'm so sad that cutscene gets skipped in runs now. As m0m0, meanwhile, going to be making his way nicely through 100 coin secrets here. Kind of at RNG overall.
Not too bad. I wouldn't say it was too bad, but definitely not as often you might want it to be. Taking an amp. Twice! Gonna slow him down a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. But Pete taking care of these shorter stars, possibly taking care of 100 Wet Dry World last.
Yeah, interesting difference in strategy here. Did anyone do double box break? Pete actually did it in the first race. We'll see if he goes for it again here. And Pete arriving right on top of the town.
Pete having a really nice Wet Dry World as m0m0 is able to clean up that 100. Oh, Pete having some weird RNG there. The coin glitching through that hole there. Making it a little bit more difficult to grab it. Not able to pick that up.
Yeah, and coins glitching through poles and the like are just, ugh. You gotta hate them.
Yeah, Pete. Oh! Was he able to grab that last that last blue coin?
I'm not sure, actually. Let's see. His coin count looks okay.
Okay, because it looked like that blue coin faded out just as he did that dive, so I wasn't 100% sure. I couldn't see it. Pete will also take an amp though.
Yeah, his coin count's fine, so he definitely grabbed it. Yeah, m0m0 making some great progress through Wet Dry World at the moment.
Pete able to finish up that 100 coins.
And nice ground pound there, as he's going to be making his way right back up the tower. And now m0m0 going to be making his way into THI. The tiny huge island of secrets, as Pete takes a pretty interesting bonk before third secret here. Going to be wasting some time that m0m0 is going to at least try to capitalize on.
Yeah, yielding a little bit of time there, but m0m0 also having a little bit of difficulty with that little area between the second and third secrets. So not able to take advantage of it as much as he could have. But able to get it. And still just hot on the heels of Pete. m0m0 seconds behind.
Yep, and 30 stars left to go. Anything can truly happen. Pete has got to be feeling the heat if he knows where m0m0's at right now.
Well, we're starting to get into the denser, harder part of this run. You know, you got you're gonna finish up THI, which shouldn't be too difficult for either of these guys. We'll make our way down. Pete, not ground pounding in the correct spot. Losing a bit of time to m0m0 again.
Yeah, m0m0 with the very clean mountain movement. As he will be re-entering the painting just momentarily for his opening piranha plants. The two runners kind of switching places here.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens through as they, they'll go into SL. And they'll go back downstairs, take care of HMC, and then go into the definitely, unarguably the hardest part of this run, Tippy.
Yep.
So we may see a lot of deciding factors here as we finish up this run.
Yeah, a lot that can and in many cases does go wrong throughout these last few segments. As they'll be moving into Snowman's Land after going ahead and paying a quick visit to Toad.
Pete will take care of his reds, where m0m0 decided to scale up the mountain first. We'll see how this route differentiation will affect both of these runners.
Yeah, an interesting little choice, but depending on your exact confidence with the tricks, certainly can work towards your benefit to reorder the stars this way. And m0m0 having to double back around to go ahead and get to this log, not opting for that standard long jump wall kick strat.
Well, and as you're saying that, Pete, taking that long jump and that kick off the log, showing that, showing the time difference between m0m0 and Pete on that exact star, actually. Pete able to catch up to m0m0 in this kind of fake sync.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how the sort of resynchronization at the end of the stage happens. As now m0m0 going to be moving in for his reds.
And m0m0,
Right here.
yeah, and m0m0 not going for the breezeless that first round. Do you think he's going to go for it again this round? Sorry.
I think he's just going to be doing standard movement. I don't see him trying breezeless. I think m0m0 is certainly going to be going for it, but I don't think Pete will this time around. Oh, I stand certainly corrected. A little bit too far off though, nearly clipping in, but just not quite far enough inwards for whatever reason.
Looked like he clipped in and then back out. m0m0 not going for breezeless, saving a little bit of time over Pete, who attempted it the first go.
As both of them now entering SL neck and neck. Pete already going to be losing a little bit of time with this Snowman's Head strat if m0m0 is able to pull off the more pro strat adequately. m0m0 missing that first ground pound though.
Such a tight race.
Yeah, this is certainly what you love seeing out of these races.
Well, and neither guy is giving a whole lot of time to the other guy, and if time is given, it's taken back by the other person. So You know, neither guy really optimizing on the other guy's mistakes.
Yeah, no one running away with the race, certainly. m0m0 with the mild lead due to the stars that he's grabbed so far. Let's see, he's done the triple here. Slides, wall kick, and it's good. He is saving some pretty good time over Pete's big snowman's head here. Okay, I think m0m0 may actually be able to have a lead coming out of SL now.
m0m0 taking
the
an
ice
icy booty burn.
As both of them get basically synchronized star grabs. So going to be exiting SL pretty close to synchronize.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, m0m0 was able to get up the snowman's head much faster than Pete. But making that mistake with the bully and taking the burn, you know, it's giving back the time. So you're not able to optimize, and you're not able to, you know, take that opportunity that you had given to you.
Yeah, and that's really a huge thing in races, just seizing those opportunities that you're given.
And we've seen that throughout this whole race, and this is the reason why it's been tight the whole way through.
So
As
you
they
got
both
of them in the middle of the MIP star grab cutscene simultaneously. You couldn't ask for better sync, folks.
really nice Mipsy grabs from both these guys, making their way back into HM's. Talking to Coach.
As both of them going to go ahead and hop on in for these quick 4 stars. Yeah, very, very close race so far. One mistake can really, really do someone in.
Well, I think chat's right with saying that. I think that it's going to be one big mistake by someone that's going to be the clincher. And m0m0 missing that first triple box jump, able to back it up pretty quickly though, not losing too much time.
Yeah, meanwhile, Pete is able to get that first try. Let's see how Pete handles the rest of the stars in HMC, though. A lot of other room for errors as well. And then he's going to go ahead and go for Christmas Miracle now. As m0m0 trying to go left side with this amazing emergency exit star. Not quite able to get the triple jump out. That triple jump can be just so finicky. And honestly, the right side movement is faster. It's just harder to pull off if you're not great at getting up on top of that slope. But resync star grabs, albeit a fake sync.
Well, and you know what? I'm okay with how m0m0 backed that up, because that could have been a death. You know, if he had attempted to go directly back for that star, you know.
Yup, absolutely.
Easily could have been a death. A little bit of a fake sync here again, you know. Both these guys taking different routes, but man, this is just a very, very exciting match to watch.
Yup. We've got one more. And m0m0 already taking the slide on the wall there, already unfortunate.
And another fake sync through that door. As Pete not having great boulder RNG, not having to take a hit though. m0m0 with the Christmas Miracle.
Yeah, so m0m0 just over 10 seconds or so behind, it looks like.
We'll make our way back upstairs. And while they're making their way upstairs, let's, for those of you who might not have heard about it in the first race, Pace, 6 days. Electric, you're going to be there.
Yup. If you didn't hear me talk about it before, I'm super excited. It's going to be at Xanadu in Laurel, Maryland, which if you've watched Smash events, I guarantee you've seen at least one event that's actually taken place there. It's just going to be such a hype live event. I'm super, super excited. Speedrunning has needed a like just strictly professional show-off marathon type event for a while. You know, the events that we have so far have been really, really great, but having this focus specifically on these races and on just like showing off these cool showcase runs. Pete missing Lakitu bounce, unfortunately. You know, hopefully stuff like that doesn't happen in said exhibition runs, but it's just going to be such an awesome event that I think is really going to fill a need that the speedrun community has had for a while. And, you know, in addition to 70-star Division 1 finals, we're going to have Celeste any percent, Odyssey any percent, and all sorts of amazing exhibition runs. I'm super excited about some of the, like, less talked about ones, or at least the ones I haven't seen as much about. The Deltarune any percent run is going to be super cool, I think. The Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland run, I'm really looking forward to that. The game has some kind of interesting speed tech from what I've seen before. Of course, the ZFG's Hundo Faster Quest run is going to be really nice. Just all sorts of really, really cool runs.
Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of good stuff going on here, though. Both guys missing Lakitu bounce. And Pete having a little bit of difficulty with the reds, but able to back it up. Again, and m0m0 missing the Lakitu bounce. Again, having to go tricky triangles. Lot of exciting action here, as well as in 6 days at Pace. Check out in chat, check out exclamation point Pace, exclamation point merch. We got a lot of great merch for both Pace and GSA. Really good stuff. Make sure to check it out.
Yep, and just to reiterate on stream, because someone asked, if you're not able to attend Pace Live, you know, we'd love to have you there, and registration is still open, but we will be streaming all of those exhibition runs and the live finals on this channel, so super hyped about that as well. So if you can't make it to Xanadu live, that's totally fine. Go ahead and just check it out live on this channel. m0m0 with Cruiser Crossing now. Pete with a decent lead in Rainbow Ride. Thank you so much, Yara X, for the Twitch Prime sub. Really appreciate it. Let's see some GSA fire in the chat. Yeah, so Pete with a decent lead here, nearly all of the Swinging in the Breeze star, and going into TTC. So coming down to this, he's trying to force this game 3, and if he's able to cleanly execute TTC and bits, he's got that in his hands. But if he doesn't, if he makes just one fatal error in TTC, that could be all m0m0 needs. And already missing that coin. Going ahead and grabbing a backup later on, though. A little bit messy already.
Yeah, Pete doing everything that he can to force this third game, this third race in this match. A little bit of light at the end of the tunnel as m0m0 makes his way with these red coins.
Yeah, and ultimately executing the opening a bit cleaner than Pete. So he's going to be saving a little bit of time there. But Pete is finishing out really strong. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and pull off this 100 coin. Nice. That is a huge weight off of Pete's shoulders, but he does still have to complete the rest of TTC and, of course, bits.
Pete having a little difficulty getting up.
You're going to have to actually stomp on the thwomp rather than walking off of him like we typically see in runs. m0m0 potentially able to make up a little bit of time here. As Pete gets this nice time moving strat to go ahead and pull off get a hand very nicely. m0m0 though with the nice stomp on the thwomp star grab. So Pete still less than 20 seconds ahead. A nice lead, but isn't completely insurmountable. If it does come down to it, it could just be a missed throw situation that could give m0m0 the win.
Well, it was just so close, you know. Anything can happen here. Mistake on either side could be the decider. A little bit of a sink there.
Yeah, m0m0 still, again, just like about a star behind. Or actually, no, actually has caught up now with that. I
Yeah,
didn't actually see. Did he grab Toad before?
no, I'm pretty sure he grabbed a different star before he did the. No, wait.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think
like
he-
based
I'm-
on his star count that he did grab Toad before.
Okay.
Synchronized star grabs yet again here.
Chat confirming that yes, m0m0 did grab Toad before TTC. So that's the reason why we see this sync here. So we'll see Pete grab Toad on his way out of TTC.
You have m0m0, 2 stars left. Pete, meanwhile, making his way up to time jumps. A little bit of sloppiness on the end there, but able to pull it off without any huge hiccups.
Again, the kind of thing that m0m0 needs from Pete, just slight mistakes, you know, again, just seconds behind.
Yep, as m0m0 with the clean approach to reds here. Let's see how Pete decides to match. Opting for this kind of fancy backflip strat.
Really nice triple jump there, yeah.
Okay, it's m0m0 has 1 star left in TTC. Pete, all he has to do is talk to Toad. So it may very well come down to throws for Pete, actually.
This is really close. I'm kind of sitting here in anticipation, just waiting to see how Bits goes. m0m0.
m0m0 with the fast movement up to the time jumps. Missing the rollout there, though. When you hit those 2 buttons a little bit too early and just completely miss the rollout, it's really hard to like back that up really quickly.
So Pete will make his way into Bits at 49.16.
On pace for a nice, if he gets a good final fight and all, looking like a mid to high 50, or a high 50, low 51. m0m0 now entering Bowser in the sky.
19 to 20 seconds behind Pete. Pete's kind of trudging his way up these angled paths. Will not go for left or right side. m0m0 taking took that left side on the first go. We'll see if he goes for it again. He will.
Yep, as Pete is going to be moving into the Bowser fight now.
Oh, and
as
m0m0!
m0m0 with a huge fall. Ooh, Pete taking a bunk meanwhile on the pipe. That could have been pretty bad if he would have slid significantly further.
So 2 mistakes at the same time on both sides of the screen as Pete taking on Bowser. Needs to get 3 out of 3 here.
First throw is good. m0m0 just trying to make his way into the fight before Pete can just clinch it out. 2 is good. Looks like Pete is going to be forcing us into a game 3.
And we will have a game 3 here in our first D2 70-star playoff. Very exciting first race. Very tight, very close. Pete able to squeak it out. Giving the viewers what they want, giving the fans what they want, giving the commentators what they want.
Yep, m0m0 trying to fight for a mid to high 50. Looks like it will work out for him though. And very nice. All right, so it's coming down to basically a total sudden elimination final match. Whoever wins this last race will be moving on in the playoffs, and the loser, unfortunately, will be eliminated from the tournament. So, going to be a really exciting game 3. Both guys saying in the back room, nice, insane little race.
That was great to see. You know, just 10 seconds apart for the last 30 minutes of that race. Really exciting. Can't really ask for much more than that out of a playoff race.
Right. As both these guys and the commentators going to take just a moment to stretch, preparing for this final race here.
This is a long grind, you know. You got 3 races, about 50 minutes each, you know. Definitely an endurance race, definitely, you know, all about, you know, who can go the distance here. We'll see if either of these guys keeps that consistency, if there's, you know, wear and tear from these past 2 races, you know, or if they're able to just keep that mentality going. You know, Pete will walk into this next race pretty confidently.
Delicious cake for Mario.
We'll probably take a minute here. Everyone, including commentators, needing a minute or 2. Grab a snack, to take a break, take a walk, take a stretch. Make sure you do that yourself. If you're sitting down, you know, make sure you get the blood going. Stand up, do a couple stretches. Sitting down for too long isn't completely healthy, so definitely you want to take a stretch every once in a while. Get some water. Get a snack.
Me, Mario.
Both these guys looking ready to go. And we'll get race number 3.
Yep, nice and underway. Getting ready to start it up here, getting that countdown from the back.
It's me, Mario.
In race number 3,
Okie dokie.
this will be the decider. Again, this is a knockout race. You know, this is a knockout match. So, if whoever wins this race moves on to semis. So this will be a crucial race here.
You know, it's really for all the marbles. Certainly, when you talk about high stress situations, this is one of the most archetypical ones. Just really everything on the line for both these guys, and they're certainly both going to be giving it their all, hoping to make it into those semis.
A lot of positivity in the Discord chat here. Both racers wanting to give everything they've got, wanting to give the viewers what they want, you know, make it a good 3rd race, especially with all the excitement coming off this 2nd race. You know, 10 seconds apart for 30 plus minutes.
Yeah, just really wild stuff, honestly.
It's just
with a 3-for-3 Lakitu skip.
Just really cool to see.
Yeah, you always like to see races actually be close like this rather than just complete blowouts one way or the other.
And first star, bomb on battlefield. This bomb clip. m0m0 able to fix the mistake from the first race and able to get it this 3rd time as well. Pete 3 for 3. Commentator receiving a phone call. You need to step out of the booth for a moment. Take those guesses in chat. What's m0m0 gonna get here? What's on this slide? And Pete as well. I'm thinking 212.8s. $12.8 and a 12.7 from Pete, just slightly faster. 1/10 of a second faster than m0m0's slide. We'll make up a little bit of time there.
Yeah, still really close though. Apologies for the sudden departure, for that phone ringing. It seems that whenever I silence the phone, it doesn't actually stay silenced forever for whatever reason.
Listen, everyone needs to pick up their phone for their mother no matter what time of day or what's going on. So it's totally acceptable. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not a horse salesman, I guess I have to be at least kind of thankful.
Both these guys going for Alice.
And it's good on m0m0's side, not on Pete's, though. m0m0 going to be taking a early little lead here as Pete having to realign here. Kind of awkward realigning with the side flip there.
So Pete succeeding a little bit at a time to m0m0 with that first attempt at Owless. And we'll see m0m0 go for this sock folder setup. A lot more consistent.
Here we go.
A lot less likely to make a mistake here. Pete doing the same. Both guys able to get it.
Yep, and m0m0 going in for shoot into the wild blue real quick. Nice side flip action. As Pete going in for his 100 coin here. Nice little start. Let's see if he's able to go ahead and make this full cycle.
This was something that Pete was able to have over both races, was this 100. You know, m0m0 not able to make that full cycle either time.
It was really just that first race where Pete had that significant mistake right on the end that m0m0 was able to run away with some time from 100 coin.
Exactly. m0m0 with a clean half cycle. No mistakes there this time. Missing one coin, but that's not going to be bad.
Yeah, gonna be able to make it up plenty fine on this ending here with the coins and that nice little ring of 8. As Pete is going to be going in for his own wild blue here. So just a little bit behind m0m0 starting off this third race here. Not a bad position to be in. And some errors from the Big Womp King right on top of the fortress here. You know, we keep calling him the king or like Big Daddy Womp, but there's no indication that he's actually a father figure of any kind to all these other Womps, nor is there any sort of indication of royalty. He just seems to be oversized.
Well, and now that you mention it, you know, you think of the King Bomb-Omb. He does the Bomb-Omb in Bomb-Omb Battlefield. He has a crown, whereas
and this one has no indication whatsoever.
Yeah, so
you know, maybe he just like is the biggest, so he gets the most respect. But certainly just kind of a I don't know, just kind of a weird situation with this Womp here generally. I don't know what exactly is going on here. It could be a situation even with like, you know, maybe the Big Womp is just mutated by the polluted water that they only have access to since they're on an island in the sky. They don't exactly have the most variety of choice. And with all the oil well drilling that Peach has been doing, I'm sure there's a lot of acid rain happening. So, you know, they can't really get any clean water from the sky.
probably a little bit of mutation as we move our way into the slide again.
Yeah, nice focus on the timers here. Been getting some pretty consistent 12, 8s, and 9s, so I'm going to go ahead and say 12, 9 on both sides here.
12-9 with the safe bet.
12-8 and 13-0.
Again, with that, you know, I'm gonna say that you're right, and you got that nice little average between the two of them.
Yeah. Well, I was predicting the spread. That's why I said 12-9 on both sides. I didn't actually mean 12-9 on both. And Plutonium with the very interesting theory that the Big Womp is not actually in charge. He's just too big to stand anywhere else. I think that's very, very true. And both of them in wing cap stage now. Pete with the kind of awkward arc there, but able to make it work despite losing a lot of speed, so losing a little bit of time there.
And he misses that first coin, so we'll have to back it up, whereas m0m0 will get all 8 in a row.
Here we go!
Pete losing just a slight second or two here in wing cap reds. We'll go upstairs and we'll head up into Dark World. Neither guy having a whole lot of difficulty with this course.
Yeah, and that's really lucky to see because obviously this one is one that has a lot of issues for a lot of players in the past. The Thwomps actually live in a non-hierarchical anarcho-syndicalist society. I can agree with that. That seems to be the case. I mean, there don't seem to be any sort of roles other than just the really big Thwomp on top and then the other smaller ones kind of guarding the rest of the fortress. As both of them guarding their time, very nicely preserving the potential shake cycle here. Both of them opting for, or I say both of them before Pete even gets here, but Pete proving me right, opting for the cheese block movement along with m0m0. Nice shake cycles from both. Very clean, clever, just beautiful movement.
I was going to say there, Electric, the name of your next book was going to be named Thwomps, a non-hierarchical anarcho-syndicalist society.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's certainly, I feel like the Womps have progressed as a civilized society to the point that they can't actually maintain an anarcho-commune without devolving into complete chaos and anarchy.
Well, Bowser's certainly not an anarcho-commune at all. Definitely the king of this world right now, in control of a lot of pawns, being taken care of by both Pete and m0m0.
Yeah, you know, has a lot of peons working for him, but ultimately they don't seem to be very effective at defending anything since Mario is able to get all of these stars on average within about like 40 or so seconds.
Again, we have a tight race here. Only a couple seconds separating m0m0 from Pete.
Yeah, as they leave Dark World, which is pretty nice to see. Let's hope that they can actually maintain this level of closeness throughout.
Well, this is actually kind of similar to this second race. The only difference is m0m0 has. So this is interesting to see. Kind of switching of roles, but very similar situation.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like m0m0 has definitely recovered at least a little bit from that first race. And especially on Pete's side, he's really just doing stellar compared to that very first race. I think he really just needed to be a little bit better warmed up ultimately.
Yeah, one thing I've been noticing from a lot of the racers that they're coming into this cold. A lot of conversations floating around about people and racers, runners of SM64 picking back up 120 star. Rock Chalk in particular, who unfortunately got knocked out of 16 and 70 stars, saying that, you know, he was excited to be done with GSA to pick up 120 stars. So, you know, don't know how warm or cold these guys are.
Yep, and especially moving to the end of these leagues, some guys even adopting like completely different games, like Ouija spending a lot of time with Sunshine even. So it was certainly interesting to see how fresh some of these guys are coming into races and how some of them are able to play super well despite not having actually played for a couple of weeks at a time sometimes.
Well, I think it's kind of an experimentation for everyone, GSA included. You know, this is the first real tournament for this sort of thing, so no one's really used to these long-term seasons, you know, and so seeing a little bit of burnout maybe, but I think that everyone's kind of adjusting to it, getting used to it, and seeing a lot of really good racing. So excited to see season 2 come around as we have the end of season 1.
Yup, same. I'm super excited to see what season 2 has in store, as m0m0 going for wall kicks will work, rocking this strat 3rd time in a row and getting it nice and clean. Pete gonna have quite a interesting little strat to answer for here. If he's not able to actually pull off this advanced strat clean, he could actually lose a couple of seconds to m0m0 just to that.
Death Johnson with a really nice question here. If you go into a race cold, are you better prepared for Cool Mountain in Snowman's Land?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't think so with Snowman's Land, considering you have to go through Lethal Lava Land and Fire Seed before you go there. So I think it's gonna warm you up either way. But you know, maybe in CCM, I think it might make a little bit of a difference. I mean, Dark World certainly seems cold. It's dark, and darkness is usually fairly cold. So, you know, I feel like Dark World would not really warm you up that much, but Lethal Lava Land for sure would.
Definitely not warm just yet as our boots get cold sliding down this ice slide. Again, these guys just neck and neck. m0m0 just a couple seconds ahead of Pete. Able to get that 100 in CCM. Pete doing the same.
Yep, nice long jump from m0m0. Both of them just gonna go ahead and take this lag from the penguin coming down the tunnel and reversing the camera like this.
Here we go!
It's two really nice races here. You know, that first race, obviously m0m0 running a bit, good 5-minute lead by the end. But m0m0 and Pete just tight again as they move their way into Big Boo's haunt.
Yeah, really just duking it out in these second two races, just trading blows back and forth. No one really holding on to anything super firm until the very end, which is what you just love to see.
Oh, it's nice to see that, like, they're willing to just go for it and you know, bring everything that they've got to the table. You know, and you're right, they're just duking it out like two heavyweights in the ring.
Yeah, just like Pete, just really handing it to the Big Boo on top of the balcony here. Not sure if you could exactly call that duking it out, but you know, it seems a little bit one-sided on Mario's end. Mario certainly has that fighting spirit and fighting experience. And some shade being thrown in the chat as some people question Pancake Jones's Division 1 status.
Is he really that good? Like, I don't know.
You know, it's not like he's been around for a while or anything. Yeah, I feel like Pancake is probably a bit overrated. I mean, what kind of name even is Pancake Jones?
I don't know. I mean, he's only got a 3rd place time in 70 star. I mean, what even is that?
Ooh,
come
the
on.
shade.
Anyway, we're working our way out of BBH. We're gonna go downstairs, take on SSL. Both these guys having trouble. Well, excuse me, Pete having trouble with that bomb and the pillarless in the first round. Neither guy having any trouble in the second round, though.
Yeah, let's hope this is a repeat of the second rather than the first.
Well, and that's what kept it tight, is that, you know, Pete had the trouble in the first round with this pillarless. And when he got it in the first go, he didn't really have any big mistakes the whole way through the second race. So hopefully he's able to do that.
Yeah, and m0m0 with the good bomb grab here. Pete as well. Okay, so they both got a good start here. m0m0, let's see, he's almost to the pyramid. Starting to make his way up, a little bit risky breaking the box with that bomb. That can cause the bomb to explode prematurely. Pete, a little bit over the clip zone, but both of them ending up getting the clip and a nice, fairly clean pillarless. We've really got ourselves a nice, tight race past pillarless, folks.
Well, and that, again, that's the sketchy part of this basement area, is that pillarless, and being able to get it, that'll boost confidence on Pete's part, especially knowing, hey, you know, that was a point for me.
Yep.
In that second race.
Here we go!
Pete skating by that Talon Star just a little bit, wasting about a second.
Here we go.
m0m0 getting that pretty free atop the Pyramid Star. Pete following suit. We'll make our way into land.
Yup, the lethal lethargy zone. No sand to be found here, and certainly, you know, a lot of lava to compensate. Both of them with nice reds to go ahead and kick things off here.
And nothing too crazy here. Not a lot of mistakes on either side of the screen. Just really nice racing. Again, keeping it really tight.
Where is the land should be Lethal Lava Lagoon. Agreed.
Pete taking a little bit of a bonk and a burn. Going for this wing cap star over the cage. m0m0 taking care of that bully. Pete following close behind.
You know, Pete with a really nice bully kill after that ledge grab. Yeah, m0m0 pretty much just the course re-entry behind, it looks like.
Man, I gotta say, like, both these guys are playing really well. I'm just kind of sitting here impressed with how well these guys are playing.
Yup, and especially m0m0's consistency has been wild throughout all of these races. Pete especially, just like the drastic difference between race 1 and 2 has been amazing to see. Why do they use the wing cap in 70 but do the triple jump in 16? The triple jump is a little bit slower, and you don't actually have wing cap in 16. Wing cap course is too slow to enter into and get the star from.
Here we go.
As Pete with a nice lava boost and m0m0 going back in just a moment for his elevator tour. That triple jump is actually like kind of a more beginner type setup for lava boost. It's a lot easier because of all the height you get from it, as you saw on Pete's screen. And yeah, for sure, badonkers. There's a lot of stuff here that it just is wild, especially like when you've tried doing some of it in practice, and especially as a casual player, like trying to play through this game. What speedrunners can do is just really impressive. Pete with the kind of awkward ending there, but pulling off nice, not taking any sort of fall that could certainly have cost him a lot more time.
So as we make our way into Triple D, a little bit slower part of this run, we've got Pace coming up, 6 days. If you haven't heard about it already, Electric's going to be there commentating. First ever speedrun competition, live event in Xanadu. Talk about it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a super cool event, and like you were saying, it's really the first of its kind that it's a marathon setting that is strictly for these live races and for showcasing these runs. So no sort of like donation interruptions or anything like that, which I know some people aren't the biggest fan of at other events. And those live races especially are going to be super, super cool. Like, especially in like the Odyssey League, I'm pretty sure all 4 of the people that made it into the finals, their PBs are like within about a second of each other. Like it's really, really insane how close these guys are. And in the 70-star league too, the 4 guys, Punkay, Cheese, D whatever, and Ouija, all 4 of them are just really insanely good runners. And so those live races are just going to be super, super hype.
And especially with that 70-star Punkay getting 48s across the board in his playoff races. Just absolutely epic runs. But we've got a lot going on. Type in to chat !pace, !merge. We've got merch for Pace and GSA. Got a lot of stuff going on at the event. If you can get there. If you can't get there, though, of course, if you can't go to the event live in Xanadu, it will be streamed live on Twitch on the GSA streaming page. So right here, 6 days, man. It's gonna be really exciting, really awesome to see this, and it's been a long waiting period to get to this.
Yeah, but certainly well worth it, and I'm just so hyped. It's been such a long wait, like you said, and it's gonna be so great.
Here we go!
As we were talking, both guys took care of their sub-stars pretty easily. Now taking care of this Manta.
Yeah, and Pete, interestingly there, he just barely nicked that hitbox in the second ring. I thought that was actually going to be a miss.
If you miss that, it's pretty. That's a hard backup. I've seen people miss the backup multiple times.
Yep.
If you're not able to get it, so.
m0m0 now trying to pull off a nice missing
the red coin.
Really well killing lava boost and pretty well early Ellie's as well. Pete has the opportunity now to seize a lot of time.
Well, and m0m0 was going for that newer strat. I guess you could call it a newer strat of getting that far right red coin and then coming back and activating the elevator, sliding down it, and just not able to get it correctly. Taking a burn, m0m0.
And meanwhile, Pete
doing the exact same thing.
He's able to go ahead and get right back on top, though. Both of them basically synchronized, save for their elevators being at slightly different parts of their cycle. And m0m0 able to get a very late cycle that looks like an early cycle on Pete's screen.
Well,
Wow.
and this is the kind of thing that we've been seeing these past 2 races in particular, is that you have one guy make a mistake, the other guy has an opportunity to make up time, but is not able to optimize on it, and Pete gonna have to go back for this red coin, not able to get it.
Oh man, yeah.
He is now hemorrhaging time like crazy to m0m0, who has finished his reds and will easily make his way into Fire Sea Bowser fight.
Did someone give the runners the same script? Well, it's typically tradition for these script writers to go ahead and have them make some of the same mistakes, at least some of the time. Because it gives a little bit of credence. If they just, like, made completely different mistakes, it would look about the same as, like, copying someone's test but purposely changing all the answers you think are wrong. It looks suspicious. You gotta be a very... Oh, what is Pete? With the interesting little lava burn strategy there.
What was that?
I think sort of a swag thing.
I'm not sure what the point of that was.
I don't think there was one. I think he just wanted to show off what lava burning looked like in case people happened to forget.
Maybe Pete just memeing around a little bit. Very interesting. New strat. Hear from Pete.
And commentators not entirely sure what to say about this pretty interesting new strat.
Maybe the writers gave them a different script and said, hey, keep it quiet. Not giving the commentators the same script.
Yup.
m0m0 with a double box. Go for the second double box, and we'll get the double-double.
Chicken Banana, it's because JP is only slower by about a second for 70 star, and JP is faster for every other category. So if you just don't feel like changing carts, or like in Punkay's situation, he's used JP in a lot of races because he's had a lot of problems with his English cart. So, and yeah, chat pointing out the double off of Pete's side, always beautiful to see on those box breaks. Or sorry, on m0m0's side, my bad. As Pete, meanwhile, having issues with these wall kicks, he is able to get up into the elevator before the elevator gets all the way to the top, though. But yeah, as you can see, wasting so much time at the elevator is actually able to catch up with him, which normally does not come close to happening.
Double only saves like maybe a second, but definitely cool to see as he misses this Chukya.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You miss Chukya just, ugh.
It's such an easy grab, so missing it is... It doesn't waste too much time. But and this is the type of thing, again, we're back at it. m0m0 making up a little bit of time there with the double, then missing the Chukya grab.
Okay, and now Pete is going to be moving up into top of the town, using this nice little beginner movement, pretty easy.
Here we go!
Oh, Pete not having very good box RNG, losing a bit of time to m0m0, who again getting that double. Pete having to go all the way back there for that coin.
As m0m0 going to be going in for his own elevator, missing those last couple of wall kicks, is able to take the bonk on the platform at least. So he's able to avoid at least a couple of wall kicks back. Oh, right out though, gonna have to restart the elevator. Such a huge time loss from his side.
This
This
is going to be a massive time loss on m0m0's part. Pete has to optimize and has to take the opportunity here.
Yeah, this is what Pete, like, this is all Pete could have asked for, honestly. Let's see how Pete is able to take care of this. m0m0 is able to get this near perfectly this time around, though. As Pete, coin perfect, needs to get good Chukya RNG here, otherwise he's going to waste some significant time on this 100 coin. And, okay, gonna just waste about a second or so with that little loop back, that's okay. Getting bodied by an amp right on the end, though.
Okay, getting a little exciting here. Big mistake on m0m0's part. Pete taking an amp. Man, oh man. We have got a race now as we make our way out of Wet Dry World in THC. Pete,
yeah, about a second or two behind on m0m0's side. Wow. We're gonna have to watch this move real close.
Pete with the slight lead.
Okay, nice start to secrets here. But m0m0 missing the long jump there. Gonna have to take a bit of a swim, losing a couple of seconds.
Pete also taking a little bit of a swim there as well. m0m0.
Yeah, Pete losing all of his speed. m0m0 able to go ahead and catch up, and m0m0 now in the lead, especially with Pete missing that side flip to get on top of the mountain. Is able to pull it off second try, though.
Seeing a change of lead here now twice within the matter of about a minute. Very exciting.
You know, m0m0 with a just basically the full star grab cutscene ahead. Very beautiful THC eye crits here. As m0m0 now going up to the top of the mountain for this nice top of the mountain star, as Pete is going to be performing some exterminator work.
Here we go!
m0m0 doing some exterminating of his own. Pete making his way up the mountain.
Nice jump dives just to get right to the top here. And m0m0 going to be moving over into Snowman's Land real quick. Or sorry, TTM. I don't know why I was thinking Snowman's Land. Take a quick pit stop for Toad, though. Pete right behind him, though.
Now this is where, you know, again, it's going to get real serious because, you know, breezeless or not breezeless, Pete, you know, getting that breezeless on the first race, not able to get in the second race. m0m0 not able to get up on that ledge. Having to back it up with red coins will lose some time again with that mistake. And Pete having some
nice movement on the second half of the reds, though.
Yeah, Pete having a lot of difficulty climbing up here. Able to get that 7th red, but sliding out there to the right. m0m0 coming out on top from that exchange, though. Regardless of missing that ledge. Getting hit by the Shy Guy. And Pete having a little bit of difficulty. It's falling! Having to back it up with this box here.
Yeah, having a little bit of trouble lining up in the first place, but is able to go ahead and get it. Meanwhile, m0m0, nice target behind that waterfall.
A little bit of spaghetti here in TTM.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing as dry as the first round, though.
Nope, not at all. And I mean, yeah, it's the stage that is known for generating that spaghetti pretty handily, but fortunately, seems to be holding at least a little bit of mercy today.
Pete running across that log, choosing not for the wall kick.
As meanwhile, m0m0 going in for his final star, this box jump here. Nicely executed here.
m0m0 going to save a little bit of time on that box jump star over Pete, who had to
Beautiful
use a
firstie
backup.
from Pete, though, for that log wall kick.
Interesting that he decided not to go for it and then go for the log kick there. m0m0.
Nice breeze star. Gonna be Pete, meanwhile, matching with breeze less.
Able to get the first round, not able to get the second round.
And not able to get the triple
yeah.
this time around. Just trying to go left on the stick too early, it looked like.
Just that third jump, he's just not able to get that third jump there. So having to back it up with the breeze.
And meanwhile, D whatever being exposed for following a script in chat. m0m0 with the nice ground pound in that box to go ahead and pull off that star.
Pete having a little bit of difficulty with this final jump onto the snowman's head.
He is able to make it work nice and handy as m0m0, meanwhile, just 1 star ahead at the moment.
And 1 really quick star too. So we'll really see how far ahead m0m0 is. And m0m0 taking a fall, flying down. back this up and missing the ledge. Not able to get the wall kick.
m0m0 in a huge Monka situation is able to go ahead and get back over to the igloo area for this beginner backup, but what a rough way to lose time here.
Here we go!
And again, Pete with the opportunity. Able to take care of the ice bully pretty well.
Is this Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 5? This is Modern Warfare 2, my friend. m0m0 with the nice bully kill here.
Here we go!
As Pete, meanwhile, nice triple to fall right into that deep freeze.
And we will make our way back downstairs for MIPS and HMC. And here we can see really how close behind Pete is. Just within just a couple feet even of m0m0.
Yeah, and both of them with a nice clean MIPS grab. That alone could have actually swung this race really heavy in one direction if one of them would have missed that. This isn't the beach, this is Mario. Both of them going ahead and talking right to Toad. No punches in the face today.
m0m0 jumping in at 39.40. Pete with a 39.44.45. So about 4 to 5 second difference.
Yeah, pulling into what could be the last 10 minutes or so of this race. Certainly very Monka-esque. As m0m0 already missing triple box jump, falling right off the platform. Gonna have to just suck it up and go for Christmas Miracle. Pete, meanwhile, not able to get the triple either, but able to back it up nice and quick.
Pete definitely a little bit more optimal. Oh.
Yeah, Pete now with the slight advantage here in HMC. And also has what's probably the hardest part of HMC already under his belt done. Doesn't have to deal with it ever again.
Yeah, m0m0 will have to go for that triple jump again. Hopefully able to fix the mistake. Pete will go for his Christmas miracle here.
Falling right down, and ooh, missing the switch. Gonna have to go for the backup here. You know, I kind of like m0m0's early dive strat a bit better. I think I might start trying to practice that, because that way all you have to worry about is Mario's position with the analog stick.
Something that we don't see too often, m0m0 missing that star grab on the dive. And m0m0 just slightly ahead. Like maybe half a second.
Yeah, just a wild race at this point, and they're about to be going into Tippy. If they can hold it together for these next two stars. Now, we see the difference here, left side versus right side. Near synchronized here. Right side, I think, is just like maybe half a second faster if done optimally. It just depends on what movement you're more comfortable with. Because m0m0's star grab there can be a little bit inconsistent, especially at first when you're trying to get used to moving the camera in the right direction and getting used to the timing of the jump kick. Why is that strat called the Christmas Miracle? Used to, it wasn't fully understood how the dive affected Mario's speed. And so people would try going for it, and when you don't fully understand how a trick works, it becomes very variable whether or not it works. With Pete, with that kind of rough bonk there. So the trick started being called Christmas Miracle because people used to say it was a Christmas miracle if you got the trick. Because it used to basically be seen as RNG as to whether or not the switch would actually be triggered. But now we have a better understanding of how exactly the dive affects Mario's momentum and where exactly you should dive in order to maximize the chance of the switch being pressed.
Pete taking that bonk with the boulders.
Yep, getting bodied and costing him a little bit of time as m0m0 going into the 50-star door now, moving into Rainbow Ride. Let's go ahead and pull out some GSA S's, some paper, not Pepe hands yet, hopefully. But some Monka S, just, go ahead and get your stress emotes out because this is about to be a very stressful situation.
Tippy classically being the deciding factor in many races. Just how difficult it tends to be with Rainbow Ride and TTC, arguably the two higher castle.
Yep. Especially TTC, since it's one of 2 stages in 70 that you have to do every star in, and it's just brutal. It's very, very taxing, especially the 100 coin and those top of the clock stars.
Well, one thing I've been noticing, especially with TTC, is that the movement as far as your jumps go and wall kicks go, like you don't really see the number of wall kicks you have in a row in any other course that you do in TTC. Like you have like 3 or 4 wall kicks in a row in some cases. Just crazy movement.
Yep.
And any of those movements can, end up with you, going
just
down
bonking,
hard.
Falling right down to the bottom of the tower, having to take like 10 seconds just to hit the death plane, and then having to wait for the death as well. And chat falling for the exclamation point claim meme. Not even claiming a sub, claiming a golden emote, as Pete having a lot of trouble with these triangles, having to go ahead and just restart the button entirely, giving m0m0 a lot of it. m0m0 is now caught up because Pete just cannot seem to get a hold of these triangles. Truly tricky right now.
Just this back and forth duel till the end, man. This is gonna go the distance.
Yep, this really is. This is really tense.
I mean,
having to go for reds as m0m0 falling during swinging in the breeze here. Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, in this location, localized entirely to your kitchen. Yes. May I see it? No. You think electric will beat Scotch? Well, we don't advocate violence in the commentators booth here, but sometimes off stream, Scotch and I have our little disagreements, such as which Scotch is actually superior.
We handle it like gentlemen, though.
With fisticuffs.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, the duels are for GSA after hours. Yeah, look at this comparison right now. So m0m0 going ahead and grabbing the Toad Star before TTC, but Pete, meanwhile, with a little bit of messy movement starting out his 100 coin here. Okay, and Pete is making his way handily up the tower, but m0m0 right on his heels. Pete going to be moving into the 70, 80, 90 territory. m0m0 not able to get on top of this fence here. Going to take a moment just to realign. Pete is now at 90 coins. One more jump separating him from the 100 coin star, and it's good. Cichari, it's faster to grab Toad after, but only if you get the movement to the clock optimal from Rainbow Ride. And if you grab Toad first, you're not at any sort of risk of. So the reason why there's a difference is you have to wait a little bit for the clock later on. And if you grab Toad beforehand, you actually do the stage in a slightly different order to take advantage of when you start out on the clock. But anyway, if you don't do the movement from Rainbow Ride to TTC optimally, then you'll miss the time that you're looking for when you first enter the clock without Toad. So if you're not confident in that movement, doing Toad first just makes sense. Pete with Get a Hand. m0m0 re-entering TTC now for 66. Pete gonna be right on his heels. So remember, m0m0 with the Toad Star advantage, but Pete, with the equivalent star count, I think it's safe to say Pete in a mild lead at the moment. Going in with time moving.
It's all gonna depend on how quickly he's able to get this Toad Star and where m0m0 is at when Pete gets the Toadstar. So we'll really see where they're at when we get into Bits. And again, looks like Bits is going to be the deciding factor.
Yep, and especially in this race, it didn't really change the outcome of the last race, but for this one, oh man. This is really, really going to be tight, especially for Pete trying to win 2 in a row to win out and secure that playoff spot. As Pete takes a major fall there, completely missing the cage, not getting a roll of any kind. Roll into the cage, more like fall into the death plane for the second time. Barely avoiding a second death, but massive time loss, over half a minute easily. As m0m0 also taking a huge fall, barely backing up with the wall kick and the ledge grab there.
There's so much spaghetti all around right here at the end of...
And Pete's falling again!
Making the same mistake! And falling into...
Dead.
Oh my god!
Dead. Trying to back that up without actually getting the star in this little get-a-hand cavern that m0m0 just ran himself into. Oh man.
That exchange was absolutely insane.
That was, oh man. Oh man.
Pete able to get it this time around.
Yeah, finally able to get that roll into the cage, but at what cost ultimately? As m0m0 is going to go ahead and go in for reds. Still fairly close, it looks like. Because m0m0 does have one more star to go ahead and grab after reds.
Pepe hands all around.
You got Pepe hands, GSA hands. Pete having issues with this triple jump wall kick, but able to make it work to go ahead and time these jumps on the moving bars that are a little bit less moving right now.
TTC wreaking havoc. Really haven't seen anything too exciting up until this point. Haven't had to get excited simply because we've seen pretty consistent play, and then all of a sudden TTC just doing what TTC does.
Yeah, with both players so close to boot. As m0m0 now entering go mode, Pete having to go ahead and grab reds real fast as well as Toadstar. So definitely looks like Pete got the very short end of that mistake. Okay, almost taking another pretty significant fall there, but able to land back on the platform. m0m0 going in to the Bowser in the Sky loading zone. Let's see if he can go ahead and pull off a better bits and also a very clean Bowser fight to go ahead and close off this game 3 and secure that semifinal spot.
Well, Pete really needs m0m0 to make a massive mistake here of some kind. Either that being just taking way too many Bowser throws or taking a death. But m0m0 in 6th gear going.
Yeah. Certainly looking as good as he needs to in order to pull this off, even with that big commentator's curse coming from Scotch and Tie Guy. Going for stationary. Okay, interesting. Opting for the more beginner style movement instead. More akin to the like 120 star bits with reds movement.
Looking like he was wanting to go left, but then made a quick decision. We'll see if Pete opts for that left side or if he goes for that, that 120 star kind of movement. It looks like he's gonna go left.
And
he
will
get it.
Making up a little bit of time. Okay, m0m0, the onus is on him to make these 3 throws. And that's 1, barely nicking that hitbox. And let's see, he's going to be spinning him around again. And the second throw is good. His third one a little bit more precise due to the long range that you have to hit here. And it is good. m0m0 securing that spot in the semifinals with a very, very nail-biting super clincher of a finale on this race number 3. Pete coming in as well with a hopefully mid 52, but that missed throw isn't doing him any favors as m0m0 big star get, m0m0 playoff win get.
I just want to point out that, you know, Pete and m0m0 went into this race the number 1 seed and the number 8 seed. m0m0 being the number 1, okay? Pete taking m0m0 to 3 and staying as close as he did, being the number 8 seed and almost upsetting the number 1 seed is remarkable.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's super impressive.
regardless of the loss, regardless of being knocked out of the playoff, that was incredible. Unfortunately, not able to get Pete into the commentary booth. Let's see if we can get m0m0.
Yeah, would certainly be interested to get him in for an interview, especially after that TTC. And it looks like he is going to be coming into the booth in just a moment. While we're waiting on that, one last quick shout out for Pace coming up in just a few days. Exclamation point Pace in the chat to go ahead and find out more about the event, find that schedule, etc. We've also got later on today, don't go anywhere, we've got at 7:30 p.m. EST, a Mario Kart Double Dash race between Optimistic Emo and Jayhawk. If you haven't watched the Double Dash time trials, they're pretty awesome, and a Mega Man X 100% tournament run at 9 p.m. But of course, before we get into all that, we've got an interview with the new semifinalist m0m0. How are you feeling after that race, man?
I think the races were pretty exciting, and yeah, overall pretty decent. Especially the last race, I think Pete and I were on very good pace until Fire Sea, and after Fire Sea, it broke a little bit apart.
Well, and then it came back together, and T was really the decider there for that third race. But that second race, Pete taking it, and that second race was even closer to that last race. So what I want to kind of hear what was going through your head when you were going from the second race, having won the first race by a pretty wide margin, losing that second race and moving into the third race.
I was hoping for a win, for sure, but Pete is playing very well, really well, and so it was overall just exciting to make a pretty great race for us and for the viewers.
Yeah, it was certainly exciting to watch, especially that last one, just seconds apart in Tippy, just absolutely insane. Were you watching the races in the back, and did you know how close it was towards the end?
Not really. I just saw the chat, and the chat said it was pretty close, but I didn't know how close, and so maybe I need to rewatch the past broadcast.
Yeah, it'll certainly be an exciting one. Did your heart kind of start sinking when you were making those mistakes in TTC in that last race?
A little bit. I was a little bit triggered. A little bit sad, but you need to focus on the game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can't let those mistakes get to you and start interrupting your focus. That's a one-way ticket to losing for sure.
Well, you've got the semifinal clinch. What's the plan moving forward?
Just make good races and have some nice runs.
Sounds like a very solid plan. Sounds like the way to go ahead and move on to those grand finals. Well, GG's and congrats again on that really nice set of races. Pretty nice lower times in those lower 50s. And congrats on moving on to the semifinals. Really look forward to seeing your races there, m0m0.
Thank you guys, and thanks chat for being pretty nice.
And all the support, of course. The m0m0 star gets always a treat.
For sure.
Well, GG's and thanks so much. Scott, did you have any more questions for m0m0 before we let him go?
I don't, but it was very exciting races, and just on my end, I'm smiling ear to ear, and those last two races, just regardless of Pete losing, I said before you came in here, m0m0, like the number 8 seed almost toppling the number 1 seed with a big upset. So really exciting first Division 2 70-star race to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing more good stuff like this.
Thank you guys, and thanks for commentating.
Oh,
of course. It's a pleasure as always, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And Once again, thanks everyone for watching. Like I said, our next event is going to be in a few hours, 7:30 EST Double Dash Time Trial Race. If you're interested in more SM64 action, we'll have a 16-star race tomorrow at 2 EST. Anti versus Blue Esports Paracusia should be a nice race. And then, of course, tons of action on Sunday with a 16-star race and a couple 70-star races. One last time, I'm Electric. Scotch, it's been a pleasure calling with you as always.
Oh, it's always a pleasure being in the booth with you.
And thanks so much, everyone, for watching. We hope you can stick around for those races later today, but if you can't, we just really appreciate that you're able to come by, and see you around sometime. Peace out, everyone.
Later.
Thank you so much for playing my game.